On Monday's episode of DC and Helwani, Ariel Helwani suggested that Gilbert Burns should not get the title shot and that he should face Leon Edwards in a #1 contenders bout.
Burns has won 4 in a row at welterweight, 6 in a row overall. 4 is not equal to 8. You understand what I'm saying? 4 not equal to 8.
Bro,
why does Gilbert Burns deserve a shot over Leon Edwards? I don't get it. Why? Because he got a title shot first? Well, okay, tell that to Carl Parisian, who was supposed to fight Matt Hughes 15 years ago. Come on, not cool. It's not fair to Leon Edwards. I don't get it. I feel like I'm living in some kind of bizarro world here with all you people.
Ali Abdelaziz reacted and posted this on his Twitter saying, "This one reporter trying to do some matches, but everything he says is irrelevant. Stop giving this guy credit." He followed up with, "I have nothing against Leon Edwards, but the only reason this is on Leon's is because same management team as Conor, and he wants to show his loyalty to Conor. Gilbert Burns is the #1 contender. He has a 1 next to his name, and that's all that matters." He followed up with, "Kamaru versus Burns is happening, Justin versus Khabib happening, and he will not be allowed in the press conference, ask questions, anywhere near of them. I was being cool, but now it's personal." He followed up with, "All at ESPN MMA, you have been banned from talking to any dominance fighters because you have a reporter who's targeting my champions. You need an immediate investigation for corruption today." He followed up with, "I love what ESPN MMA brings to the table. They have great reporters, Brett Okamoto, Mark Riamundi, Jeff Wagenheim. I have no issues with these guys, but enough is enough." He ended it off with, "Also TSN is on the banned list." After a very close fight UFC 251, Max Holloway broke his silence and posted this on his Twitter saying, "It is what it was. Nothing changed for me as a fighter. We proved our point. I still have my 5 belts at home. I'm 28 and healthy. Blessed era continues. Bless yourself." He followed up with, "Life isn't fair. It's even more unfair for many other people in the world than it will ever be for me. People are unemployed right now, with no end in sight, and it's not their fault." He ended it off with, "Just landed in Vegas for another quarantine and was told some guys in the media are receiving threats for saying my fight was not a robbery. This is not okay. I appreciate everyone wants to ride with me, but that ain't it." It looks like former UFC strawweight champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk has retired from active competition. She posted this on her Instagram saying, "Same vibes, different location. #Bulgaria." In one of the hashtags she posted, 33 and retired.
Look at his ugly face. So ugly. Just kidding, Jared. I love you. It's another day in the life here. Second test coming up. So just to keep everybody in the loop, what had happened was I was around somebody who had tested positive for the virus. I never tested positive. I passed all my tests. I've now passed, I think, 5 COVID tests since being in Vegas. I was quarantined in Vegas. I'm now under a 48-hour quarantine here in Abu Dhabi, just sitting outside, getting some fresh air, if you want to call it 100-degree humidity fresh air. But I will be working Wednesday. I will also be cornering Jared Gordon, so I'll take a little break from working the show, and then I will be working Saturday for the flyweight title, and also the following Saturday for Whitaker and Till. So I'm here, I'm healthy, as long as I pass this next couple tests. So far, first one came back negative again here in Abu Dhabi. So for anybody that's wondering why I wasn't there at the pay-per-view, what happened, that's what happened. So here I am, COVID-free, and about to get some work.
All right, 11:03 p.m. here in Abu Dhabi. Your boy's hurting for certain. We just finished taping the Anik Florian Podcast. Somehow, vocally, was able to get through it, but I'm toast right now. All of that being said, I'm going to try to stay up here for like 6 hours to stay on U.S. time. And I got a whole nother fight card to prepare for. It's UFC Fight Night Cater versus Ige, so we're going to dive in right now so as to be prepared for our fighter meetings, which are coming up in like 17 hours. Crazy to turn the page that quickly, but I think a lot of us would have it no other way. This is probably the non-title fight I was most looking forward to, with respect to Whitaker and Till, of course, but I don't know how this fight isn't just absolutely electric between Calvin Kattar and Dan Ige. So diving right back in as long as I can last, and we look forward to seeing you guys Wednesday night. Appreciate all the support on the broadcast, sincerely. We're always trying to get better and not get worse, so we'll see you Wednesday.
Kenny Florian on the Anik Florian Podcast gives his thoughts on Jorge Masvidal's performance at UFC 251.
I will say this, first of all, yeah, the first round was tremendous. Masvidal just has a tendency of coming out hot. We kind of talked about that. I assumed that he would probably try to take it to Usman early in that fight, see if he could catch him. He was very effective in that first round. Masvidal's a stud, okay? You know, you take the fact that he took this fight on 6 days' notice. He went out there, again, start to finish. There wasn't 1 second or one look in his eye like he was defeated. He was going for it the whole time. And we'll talk about, you know, Jose Aldo against Petr Yan. But there was moments where you could see even an experienced fighter like Aldo where it seemed like he was really disheartened or didn't have that same kind of determination or look in his eye after, you know, a round or two. That was not the case for Masvidal, who had to deal with just a bear in Kamaru Usman. And it's a fight that no fighter likes to be in, but Masvidal was right there. He never lost his will to win. He was going for it, came in for 25 hard minutes on short notice. I thought that for anybody in the world with those kind of circumstances, it would be very hard to look bad, to look good. Right. And for a lot of fighters, you could say, hey, you fight a guy like Kamaru Usman, you never look good. But for Masvidal, considering all the circumstances, I thought his stock actually raised after this. I agree. In my opinion, just with everything. And then just the class that he showed after the fight. Masvidal is a star for a reason. He's called game bred for a reason. I thought he had a tremendous performance. And I thought he did even better than I thought he would. So Masvidal will be back. And I would reckon that he could really give Usman a good go if they had a rematch. I really believe that.
Guys, it is Monday Mailbag, and we had a busy weekend. We had Usman versus Masvidal. Pay-per-view did over 1 million buys. So the question is, on Usman, did you think, I think we should go back to old, how Pride's payment system was, where if you knock somebody out or submitted them, you got paid more. And then the other thing is, if you got knocked out or submitted, you even got paid more. So I think it was better for the fans. What do you think? Comment down below. Also, I was going to say congrats to Rose. The one thing about the women is they go out and fight. And it's what I think the guys should do, is imitate the women, because they just go out there and fight now. And then on Holloway, that was crushing. Do you guys think he won the fight? Comment down below, and we'll talk about it later this week.
4 hours in our quarantine yet. We have one more day of quarantine. So technically, Tuesday morning, we could be out of quarantine, which I'll be up anyway here Tuesday morning. Back there, it's Monday afternoon for you guys, because we're 8 hours ahead. But this is cool, and there's a racetrack. Let me flip this. It won't flip. There's a racetrack and a huge ass globe thing, but a racetrack. And I'm definitely calling Concierge to get on that once I come out of quarantine, because I love going fast. I feel the need for speed. He's so enthusiastic. We just woke up because I got to fight here at 7 a.m. in the morning. So we have to not see daylight and just enjoy some darkness for a while. I miss the sun. I miss some vitamin D. This sucks.
I'll tell you a story about this one doctor. He actually came into the cage while I was refereeing to stop the fight without waving to me or that I had seen or anything, because a guy had taken a shot and he was in trouble. Now, I've had other interactions with this doctor where I was so glad he was there. One time a guy takes a big shot, bam. See, it had a lot of damage in here, some serious damage, and he was dazed. I pulled the guy off of him, and he stands up and he's reaching into his mouth, and the doctor's there like that and grabs him and keeps him from reaching in, because he could have done him some serious injuries. But this time, the guys are going at it. The guy takes a big shot. He falls. The guy's on top of it. He's going after him. The guy's in there. He's recovering. While he's recovering, he turtles up. The guy's on his back. He's taking his back, trying to get hooks. He's high. The guy's popping up, shaking him. He backdoors him. Boom, he's on top. And while this is happening, I see out of the corner of my eye this doctor come in. So this doctor used to wear really bright clothing. And there's a brand that he liked a lot back then. I'm not going to tell you the brand because, you know, people will know it. Some people will know this guy if I mention the brand. But he's there. I know he's behind me. I try to pretend that I don't see him. I can see his body language. Like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to just walk into the cage and do this, but I'm here now. I'm just gonna go for it. I turn a little bit, so hopefully you can give him one more opportunity to go, you know what, this guy's all right. Maybe I'm just going to walk back out and let myself out and no one pretend like I was never here. But that's not what happens. He comes and taps me on the shoulder and goes, stop the fight. Well, what? Yeah, stop the fight. I have to stop the fight. The guy who he was worried about is actually winning the fight at this point. So, we have arguments about it. We have a lot of arguments about this for probably a year and different commission meetings and whatnot. We even made a mechanic that if the doctor, because, you know, this is in California. Not every other place this would happen. And California is one of the only states where the doctor, I think it's the only, or maybe there's one other, I'm not sure. But I'm sure, if it's not the only, maybe there's one other, where the doctor can stop the fight without talking anyway. You just come up and just stop, the fight's over. But what the mechanic was that I guess he was going to tell me to stop it. I would not want him telling me that because, for one, if it didn't look like it made sense, I wouldn't want him just waving the fight off. I wouldn't understand that wasn't me. Well, I'm focused on refereeing, so the mechanic now is the doctor, goes over, takes the the bell, rings the bell himself or grabs the horn or whatever it is to signal the end of the round. And that way we're clear that he stopped the fight and not the referee.